producers of our time. D'Angelo, soul's modern visionary, dead at the age of 51. Tyrone Bowman live. Welcome to the program, everyone. Once again, this is part two of the story about now the late D'Angelo, whose career spanned a total of 30 plus years. He died after a long, courageous battle with cancer. But before I get into this story, once again, I need your help, ladies and gentlemen. We have over 2,000 plus subscribers on Tyrone Bowman Live. We've come a long way. We have a long way to go. I need to build our new studio, Tyrone Bowman Live Studio, because I need to just make this look a lot more professional, look more modern, instead of just sitting in front of a brown door, making things really look nice, sounding nice, and then I won't have to hold a telephone up to the camera because I'll have a nice computer. We'll be able to do picture-in-picture and live interviews and so many other different things that we need to do with our channel. So if you decide to help us, I do want to say thank you again to our first contributor who sent me a donation. And if they choose to go public, I'll mention the name. If you decide to send a contribution, unless you tell me, I will make sure I do not reveal your identity. If you want to be known publicly, let me know when you send it, and I'll give you a huge shout out. So if you decide to help us, simply go to my Cash App at Tyrone Bowman Sr., $Piexel, number 4. That's Piexel, number 4. Now let's get back into the story regarding D'Angelo. Anonymous said, you're better than some of the other content creators that have all the bells and whistles. Thank you. Appreciate that, Anonymous. Well, over here, we're going to continue to do what we do, make it sound good, make it look good. And I make sure when I come before this camera, I try my best to look my best every single time. So I want to finish talking about D'Angelo here, and I want to pick up where I left off at. So D'Angelo spent 2 years touring in support of Brown Sugar, after which he suffered a bout of writer's block. Over the next few years, he released a few covers for movie soundtracks like Prince's She's Always in My Hair for Scream 2, and a version of Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell's Your Precious Love with Erykah Badu for High School High. The one new song he dropped was I Found My Smile Again, and was written for the movie Space Jam. It was during this period that D'Angelo also struck up a fatal artistic and personal relationship with Questlove. Soon, the pair had set up shop at Electric Lady Studios in New York, where they, along with the rest of the Soulquarians, began the sessions that would eventually lead to Voodoo, as well as other albums. By the Roots, Badu, Common, and more, the prolific late-night jams with various musicians floating in and out of Electric Lady, combined with D'Angelo and Questlove's intense studying of their predecessors, made the multi-year experience feel like going to school in the best way. Quote, I ain't never went to college, so this was my equivalent, D'Angelo told Rolling Stone. It was a return to what we love about music. After Brown Sugar, I lost my enthusiasm to do all of this. I could have done without going to 7-Eleven at 3 o'clock to get a pack of cigarettes and find yourself sworn, signing autographs. I had to reiterate why I was doing that in the first place. And the reason was the love for the music. I was getting jaded looking at what go on in the business. But I had to say, even if I didn't do this, I still be blanking with the music. So I'm cursed, and I'm going to be cursed until the day I die. So this is what I'm going to do. This is a note. I've recorded several pieces, and I made several videos about the music industry on this channel. Now, where they are, because we have over 2,000 videos. Now, where they are there, and I talked about copywriting, infringement of copyrights. I talked about the royalties aspect, how to get into the music business, so check them out. And that's going to be a major part of what we do as we go forward, because I have a lot of friends who are producers, singers, songwriters, some of record label owners in the industry. And I want to be able to bring them, well, not want to, I'm going to bring them to Tyrone Bowman Live once we get our new studio built. So D'Angelo shared his first track from Voodoo's Devil's Pie in 1998 on the Belly soundtrack, then dropped the first official single, Left and Right, with Method Man and Redman in October 1999. By the time Voodoo finally arrived in January 2000, anticipation was so high it sold more than 320,000 copies in its first week, debuting at #1 on the Billboard 2000. As much as Voodoo was the critically lauded long-awaited follow-up from a generational talent, its success was certainly also driven by the blockbuster video for the album's second single, untitled How Does It Feel, directed by Paul Hunter and Dominique Trenier. The clip simply captured an exceptionally muscular D'Angelo performing the track while wearing nothing but a small gold crucifix necklace. The singer-songwriter reportedly spent months working with a physical trainer to beef up for the video, and was apparently wearing a pair of pajama bottoms below his waist and just out of frame. The instantly iconic video enjoyed near constant rotation on MTV and BET, while also garnering its fair share of controversy, both over its streaking suggestiveness and the way it ended gender expectations, other ways men and women appeared then in hip-hop and R&B videos at the time. D'Angelo shrugged off any controversy, telling the New York Times at the time, with men, if there's any negative reaction, I'm not going to get an honest feedback. The women love it, most definitely, but for me personally, the response I got from both men and women has been pretty cool. He also expressed some reservations over becoming a sex symbol, as noted in the 2000 Rolling Stone profile. D'Angelo concerts frequently featured Take It Off chants from the crowd, and the singer would often oblige, but while stripping down did feel good, D'Angelo said he was wary of it becoming a thing where that's what it's all about. I don't want to turn it to things away. I don't want to turn things away from the music and what we're doing up there. By the end of the Voodoo tour, D'Angelo's fears had come to fruition. In a 2008 Spin article, Questlove recalled how the constant catcalls riled up D'Angelo. The audience thinking, blank your art, I want to see your blank, made him angry. His tour manager, Alan Lead, added, I didn't realize how vulnerable he was and how deep his issues ran. He's cursed now with fretting over how much of his fan base is because of how he looked as opposed to the music. It took away his confidence because he's not convinced why any given fan is supporting him. D'Angelo retreated from the spotlight, and though he continued to work on the music, he resisted pressure from his label to quickly pull together a Voodoo follow-up. But D'Angelo's personal troubles were mounting. He was drinking and using drugs and increasingly isolated from friends and family. In 2002, he was charged with resisting arrest after he allegedly spit at a woman at a gas station. And in 2005, he was arrested again for drug possession, driving under the influence, carrying a concealed weapons, and other charges. The leaked mugshots raised significant concerns about D'Angelo's health, and a subsequent stint in rehab didn't stick. A new record deal with Clive Davis's Jive Records was reportedly pulled after D'Angelo crashed his car in September 2025. After a second spell in rehab, D'Angelo slowly started to return to music, but mostly as a contributor to other people's projects. He appeared on albums by Snoop Dogg, Common, Jay Dilla, and Q-Tip. His own future, though, remained as murky as ever after Questlove leaked snippets of a song called Really Love an Australian Radio in 2007. Reports of a new record deal emerged that year alongside hopes that an album might be out by the following fall or winter. So D'Angelo was really, really going through some tough times. Aretha Franklin's was as important to the civil rights movement as Malcolm X, and Medgar Evers told RS, artists can choose to take on the tremendous amount of responsibility we have or choose to ignore it. I can't knock a blank for not singing what I feel like I should sing, but I know it's time for me to say it. D'Angelo and his band, The Vanguard, embarked on a successful tour in support of Black Messiah in 2015. Over the next few years, he continued to play scattered shows, and in 2018 shared a new song called Unshaken for the Red Dead Redemption 2 soundtrack. In 2024, he joined Jay-Z on the song I Want You Forever, recorded for the Book of Clarence soundtrack. If you haven't seen the movie The Book of Clarence, check it out. That is an awesome movie. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to take a quick break. Tyrone Bowman Live. Thank you, everybody. Tyrone Bowman Live. To take a quick break here. As you all know, I am a commentator and broadcaster in real life, in addition to be a law student. So I'm actually here at the radio station. Okay, I'm talking about D'Angelo Brown's courageous battle that he had with cancer, and he lost his battle with cancer a couple of days ago. So while D'Angelo's cancer's battle was not revealed publicly until his death earlier this year, he was forced to cancel a performance at the Roots Picnic Festival in Philadelphia. At the time, the singer-songwriter cited an unforeseen medical delay following a surgery he underwent earlier in the year. At the time he released Black Messiah, D'Angelo noticed that he was working on a lot more material, and rumors about a fourth album characteristically followed him during what would become the final act of his career. Just last fall, Sadi told the Rolling Stone Music Now podcast that D'Angelo was in a good space and working on a new record. Thinking about what was ahead following the arrival of Black Messiah, D'Angelo told Rolling Stone, I want to do what Yahweh is leading me to do. Do I know fully what that is? No, I don't. I'm trying to keep myself open and my heart open to receive and to know what that is. Yet, there was one thing he was certain about, just as he's always been. I do want to put a lot of music out there. I feel like, in a lot of respects, that I'm just getting started. Quote and quote. D'Angelo Brown, modern day, visionary, born too soon at the age of 51. Thank you all for watching. Never surrender. Never quit.